I texted him saying I was running late.
He read my message.
Huh. Helpful. Give it a couple minutes. Left me, he didn't reach mine.
Yes.
What do you guys want to do? Should we kick off and then? Not sure if Roland's supposed to be here.
Okay, want to give him another couple minutes?
Sure.
What time is it?
Don't mind. 7:04.
We are.
Now let's kick off and then. Because
And if he comes in, he comes in. Okay.
we're live anyway. Okay. She may have said something to me. Okay. I call this meeting to order. Welcome everyone to the June 20th, 2024 meeting of the Ypsilanti Police Advisory Commission. Guess with that, you do roll call, right?
That's correct. All right, for the roll, Commissioner Mohammed,
Present.
Commissioner Humes,
Present.
Commissioner McCormick,
Present.
Commissioner Wolkoff. It's not present. Made quorum.
Okay. We have the agenda for today. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I make a motion that we approve the agenda as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay. Now we're open for public comment.
If anyone would like to make comment, please come up to the microphone.
Hi.
Please state your name and address.
Carrie Nicewinder, 1690 Sunset Street, Monroe, Michigan, 48162. Okay, obviously, we're a family of Julia Nicewinder, the murder that happened at Peninsula Place almost 12 years ago. And we are well aware of the fact that there has not been a detective on the force. We know you guys have been going through some things, but we have been in contact with several outside people, organizations that would be willing to lend a hand for free just to try to help to get our case solved. It wouldn't be a cost to the department or the city of Ypsi. It's people that do this. And we are just pleading because, as we said, it's been 12 years and this case has destroyed our family. And my sister, Julia's mother, is in the wheelchair. She's recently been diagnosed with leukemia and she will be going through a bone marrow transplant, which there could be a lot of things that could happen with that. And we would like to see some movement made on this case. And it's why we're just pleading. We've tried reaching out several times. Even some of the organizations that we've talked to have reached out to the police department and haven't gotten any type of responses. We just, 12 years is a long time. And, but we're not sure how much time we got left. So we need to really would like somebody to give us a hand and whatever we got to do to try to move this case forward. Again, we know that there hasn't been a detective on staff. Anybody that was even associated with the case to begin with is no longer even around. So we know it's very difficult, but again, we have resources that could be available, again, at no cost to the city or the police department. So we're just pleading for some help and maybe a helping hand. Thank you.
Thank you.
Comments, but sorry.
Okay, I don't, you need me to state my name? Kim Turnquist, 11473 Petersburg, Michigan, 49270. And I am here, I'm Julia Nicewander's mother. And I'm just here again, as my sister, her aunt spoke. We're just pleading that we get some help. We have some resources again that can help the department in her case. And it's been a long struggle. Talked with the chief before. Just want some open communication and just see what we can do about getting this outside agency to help us. In the past, I haven't had much success at all, and I'm just hoping that the new regime will be able to solve my daughter's case, give us some answers. I don't know how much time I have left, and you know, I've had every side effect to the chemo that I've been receiving, and I don't know if I will even make the bone marrow transplant, if I will survive it. But you know, I'm keeping hopes of that, and that's what I'm pushing for. But finding some justice for Julia would definitely be, you know, something that I would want to happen before I leave this earth. But I know that I'll be with her in the end. But I just want the department to be able to take on her case, and with the assistance, you know, don't feel like you can't reach out to this, our outside organizations that want to help, and you know, utilize them. It's been way too long, 12 years. She has a twin sister and who couldn't be here tonight. And it's hard on all of us still to this day. I tell her story every day. We wear a bracelet. As much as I'm in the hospital, I tell her, you know, the nurses and everyone. But at the same time, I've also told them that I am hoping with the new chief in place and stuff that the city will actually, you know, take us very seriously, and that we're not playing around anymore. And we need some answers for Julia, mainly for Julia. I'd like bring those perpetrators to, you know, justice, because who knows what they're doing out there. And I just want to see some justice for Julia and for our family. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone online? Oh, sorry.
Hello.
I'm sorry, sir, on Zoom. We're gonna.
Okay.
I can wait.
All right, go ahead, James.
Yes, I just want to introduce myself. I'm James Nicewander, Julia's grandfather. I live in Clearwater, Florida, and I've been to Michigan on quite a few occasions. I've tried to meet with YPD, and one trip up there recently, I think it was in April, we did sit down with the chief, and he assured us that he would communicate with the family on a regular basis and keep us updated on anything that happens. And he also said at the meeting that he would contact my daughter, Kimberly, that just spoke. And as far as I know, to this day, he hasn't talked to Kim since that meeting. There seems to be a definite lack of transparency and accountability for YPD over the years. There are these organizations that will help and they do all their work on a pro bono basis. They will sign any confidentiality agreements with Ypsilanti. Their whole goal is to solve the case and help the family have some closure. Now, it's kind of disheartening to me to know that my granddaughter was murdered over 11 and a half years ago, and that person is still out there somewhere in the world living a life, maybe doing this again. I don't know. I do know that I've communicated with the state of Michigan, the Michigan State Police Forensic Division, and that the DNA from the crime scene has been entered into CODIS, but they haven't had any hits yet. An outside organization with a DNA sample would pursue the familial genealogy of that DNA. And I don't know how familiar you people are, but most people have seen lately that there's been a lot of cold cases solved by these organizations that analyze the DNA. And there's absolutely no reason after over 11 and a half years that something can't be done. As far as I know, the last detective that YPD had was Annette Kopak.
I'm sorry to interrupt, sir, but that's the end of your 3 minutes.
Oh, thanks. They cut me off.
Hi, Marcus Nicewinder, 6171 Greenwick Lane, Monroe, Michigan, 48161. I mean, obviously you heard the other three people already. We're just playing for the police department to accept the outside help. I understand there's a lot of material to go through. They don't even have a detective or whatever, or the resources to go through it all. Everybody that worked the case is gone. So if they could just accept the outside help, it's not going to cost anybody any money, but we may be able to get this solved. And from the very beginning, we were told it is a solvable case. And here we are 11 and a half years later, and we're still in the same boat we were then. That's all we're asking, is just pleading that they will accept the outside help. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have one more on Zoom.
Okay.
Hello. I'm going to introduce myself as Madison Turnquist. I am Julia Nicewander's younger sister. I was 10 years old when she was murdered. I'm now 21 years old, and my sister's case still isn't solved. So here I am going to plead for the same exact thing. Allow the Ypsilanti Police Department to accept the outside help. I had to go through high school graduation.
I'm sorry, we're unable to hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Very quiet.
Try muting her and picking it up mute.
Nope.
Hello.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm sorry.
No, no.
So to get to the point, I'm her younger sister. I was 10 years old when she was murdered. I'm 21 now. It's been 11 and a half years. Ypsilanti Department needs to allow the outside help, especially if it's free. a lot of things don't get offered for free nowadays, especially things pertaining to something that is so costly. I am the only one left of the family right now that can be here, whether it's virtually or physically, to sit here and plead for that. I struggle every day with the loss of my sister still. I struggle every day knowing that whoever killed her is walking this earth, and she still has a twin that looks exactly like her and another younger sibling. People are crazy out here. Why are we allowing that to continue to, walk the earth when this case is solvable, like it's been said before? So I'm gonna just end it with the plea of Ypsilanti Department accepting outside help, because it's been too long. My mom deserves justice for her daughter. My sister deserves justice for herself. We all deserve justice for this family, as we have been all torn apart, and we still struggle to this day. There needs to be better communication. There needs to be, because we're a family that stands as one, and when we stand as one, we're loud. And I don't really think that anybody wants to hear us get loud when we have the outside help that is willing and right there and ready to step in. It's just a matter of Ypsilanti saying, yes, please. So here I am, just pleading for the outside help and for Ypsi to accept it. That is all I have. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm not positive that we even need the address, so no worries.
I don't.
This is not, so as the advisory commission, right, we're not really in a position to make a commitment one way or another. That said, we can certainly talk to the police department, and I think that from there, given that you guys have spoken with YPD in the past, this year, we can certainly get back in touch if there's an update or an answer. I wish I were in a position to say or do more right now, but I'm not we here or not. And speaking for myself, I appreciate you guys making the trip up this evening. And I'm very, very sorry for your loss. Yeah. Okay. So we have a pretty tight agenda today. Just 3 main items, and then part B might take a while, but hopefully it's the last time here. The questionnaire thing. So I guess with that, turn it over to the chief here about the monthly statistical analysis, and we can kind of from there.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity. I'll begin with the just a brief of department and organizational update. When I get to the statistics, we are covering statistics from May and June, so it'll be a little bit longer. We've had over the time frame of May, all of May until June 19th, we've had no use of force incidents during the reporting period. We're investigating 3 citizens' complaints surrounding rude and discourteousness. As for our training, in May of 2024, we had 4 cadets to graduate the Oakland Police Academy. 2 cadets began the Washtenaw Community College Police Academy, and we had 1 officer graduate FTO school to become a field training officer, and he currently has an officer that he's working with. That instruction is a 40-hour block of training to become a trainer. So we are systematically getting our people trained so that we can onboard more officers into the organizations and start to fill.
Do they do it is it like, hey, take a 8 hour a day, 5 day week and do
Yes,
it? Or is it
It's a
broken
five,
up?
no, it's a
Okay.
five, it's a
You're gone for the
a
week, go do
yeah,
this.
You're
Okay.
going for a week to do the training.
Okay.
The training incorporates, the FTEP program, how to evaluate and grade and train new officers, along with some modules in its instructor development and different ways, adult learning and the different learning techniques for individuals. So that makes up the program, and currently we have 5 full FTOs, and then we have acclimating officers. So we're working to build that cadre so we can onboard more people. So far this month, we had 4 officers complete our 60-hour block of YPD police officer orientation training. You can see that includes legal updates, community mental health, council conversations, ethics, use of force, vehicle pursuits, basic patrol procedures, active assailant, and of course, community resources, among a few other topics. We have 6 officers who are currently in different stages of field training and our acclimation training programs. Recruiting, we continue to outsource our background investigations. That is working really well for us. It's expanded our capacity internally, and we're getting what I consider to be a top-notch professional product in investigations. We have 6 new police officers in the applicant pool, and an additional 4 lateral officers in that pool. We will also be posting here shortly internally and externally for positions of lieutenant, sergeant, and an external posting for an investigations officer. These recruitments will remain open until they're filled.
Okay.
And now we'll move on to the statistics.
Can I ask you a question, Chief?
Yes, sir.
So how many do we have on the force now?
We have 8 vacancies.
So we have 8 vacancies. Okay. 22, is that right?
Actually, so we're allotted 33. So
30, okay.
yeah, so 25, but that includes the individuals that are in the academy.
They're like not
They-
street legal.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the officers that are in training. They're
Mhm.
on the street with other officers. They have not been released to solo patrol yet,
Okay.
but some have. And so now we're slowly increasing our numbers on each.
We're filling those vacancies that
Yes.
we've been tough. Okay,
Another question?
that's it.
Oh, thank you.
When you say posting internally, is that encouraging people to take like I assume there's like a sergeant's exam?
Yes, the
and
process,
exam, hey, you guys
our
want to?
promotional process. Yes.
All right, cool.
I'm going to start with the May statistics. It's the monthly summary, and it is basically for the month of May, and it compares our numbers to the month of May in 2023 compared to what we've done this year. I want to bring note to a couple. We're not going to go over every single statistic on here. You guys can indulge in all of the reports. But I want to make note to non-aggravated assaults, which are down 32%. Also, our aggravated and felonious assaults, they're down 81%. I think those are significant and noteworthy. Our forced entry burglaries are down 80%. I think that is also another noteworthy. Theft from motor vehicle is down 50%, noteworthy as well. And our traffic crashes, we went up. We went up by 7.04% from comparatively from May of last year to May of this year. Now, the next stats we do year to date through May. So in other words, by this time, we compare the statistics of what we've done over the last year to what we did the year before. We continue to see the downward trend in non-aggravated assaults and felonious assaults. down 18 and 38% respectively. Our motor vehicle theft is up 50% though. So that's an area of concern. So we've doubled that since last year. Our weapons offenses, concealed weapon carry is down 33%. So I think that's an important statistics. Our family abuse, neglect, nonviolent is up 62%. So concerning operating under the influence of liquor or drugs is down 66%. So that is a encouraging statistic. Our traffic crashes, however, are up 48%. So almost consistent with the month to month of 50%. That remains pretty consistent. So we have an issue with traffic. I'll move
Do you
in.
think that I mean, I notice a ton of construction, but I don't know that makes me think I'm more
Those-
likely to get
those
into a
orange
crash.
cones?
I just drive
Those orange
slow.
cones?
Yeah, the slalom course.
Well, last year, we attributed it to the fact that the whole city was under construction.
right.
Because we had quite a few from year over year, 22, 23. But now that we're pretty much clear of the construction, what can we attribute it to? Is it like operating while intoxicated or?
So what I believe, I do still think the construction plays a factor, but I think a more significant culprit is driver inattention. We, in determining, fault of accidents and whatnot, driver inattention is a frequent cause. Apologies. That's exactly.
Yeah. It's, that was perfect timing.
Perfect timing. It's absolutely correct. So, we have a lot more distraction in the vehicles now, from watching movies to, of course, the phones and everything in between. And so we're seeing a lot of different behavior. Now, we recently, passed an ordinance to even further reduce the ability of police to make, traffic stops based on, certain things. And, they weren't necessarily moving violations, but when you start to put all of those things together, we have to, look at the data and see how does this really, impact it. So that's what based on what we're seeing, I think it's a lot of driver inattention.
Can I ask this also? Is it possible to make a correlation with you said the assaults are down, so are the felonious assaults, those are down. My understanding is that we have more officers that are out and patrolling on foot. Is it possible to make a correlation with that might be helpful to where the assaults are happening or where the assaults are not happening?
I think it's it's a factor. And as we increase, our staffing and we're able to do directed and target and offender enforcement, but more importantly, I think, is the community engagement piece and the willingness of this community to engage in mental health, all of the resources that we have. So when you put all of those things together, I think that's what helps drive those numbers down.
Thank you.
I would love to sit here and say it was the police solely, but that's just not accurate. I think it's because when we do encounter victims and people in those situations, we're offering the resources right away. I think we're doing a better job at connecting people to help. And so I think collectively, we get a better outcome.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I'll do the offense summary for the month of June. Like I said, we continued and followed the same trend with non-aggravated assault and aggravated felonious assault. down 46 and 75% respectively. I think those numbers are significant in terms of, reduction in what we're having countywide in terms of violent crime. Theft from motor vehicle is down 75%. Obstructing justice is down 78%. And I'd like to just pause on that for a little bit. Obstructing a police officer, in my experience, can be directly attributed to two things. Of course, the offender can be in a state of mind or, hostility and whatnot. But I think that statistic is also reflective of the type of individuals, the type of officers we have on the street. Our focus has been to reduce the confrontation, to approach these scenarios with openness and wanting to help as opposed to just, confrontation. And so by just changing that philosophy and that mindset, when officers enter these scenarios that used to end up with, okay, you're obstructing the police arrest, we're not seeing that as much. And so I think that's attributed to the investment that we're starting to make with the officers on the front end. Our traffic crashes, for, comparative to June is down 50%. So that significant. Now I'm going to go for year to date. Again, we still follow the same trend with felonious assaults, motor vehicle theft or theft from motor vehicles down 21%. Violation of Controlled Substance Act, that's usually possession, that is down 80%. So that's another topic that has been frequent in city council meetings about, some of the things we just talked about Sunday. So it's, something to think about. Down 80% is significant. Again, obstructing justice follows the same trend, is down 57%. When we go through traffic crashes, now when we look at it from year to date through June, now we see the reflection that we saw in the first one, with it being up 23%. So if you take all of those and you put it together, our traffic crashes are up. Right, we've seen an increase, in crashes around the city. Okay, so that's it for the statistical analysis. Any questions, please?
Okay, all right, likewise. Thank you, Chief. All right. It's been like what? No, it's been way more than 6 months. I was gonna say I was trying to decide between 18 and 15. Yeah. Yeah.
So you go ahead and then I'll.
Okay.
Say one thing.
So last time, one of the last times we were here that you were unavailable, we sort of went through a list and pulled out ones that kind of match the criteria of make a statement, rate it 1 through 5, so that they're all super consistent. I saw whatever it was a month or two ago, what you had come up with that had kind of some of that and some that was slightly different formats. I, like probably you and everyone else here, am mostly interested in, like, if it's a QR code, like, we can tweak it later. I really want to get something out there. So I'd love to come out of today with some amount of, yeah.
So only thing I'll say is
Yep.
this: if you want that one that we put out, then we can make it happen.
Yeah.
So if that's the will of the body.
Okay. So, yeah. Commissioner Hume.
The one that we put out, is that the one that has the various questions on there? Or is that the one that has the least or most likely or least likely or the continuum.
It's the one that I submitted to the committee 2 months ago.
I gotta go back and revisit that.
So if you're saying, is it the one where it's just all statement 1 through 5? It is not that
Not that one. Okay,
one.
I know which one you're talking about.
Okay. Cause like we saw that one and then in that meeting, we started going through the individual questions.
Right, okay, I'm good, okay.
Okay, yeah, here it is. I had it.
Okay. And I think actually Gail may have sent it.
Yeah, the
This is the March 17 memo.
Yes.
The stakeholder survey.
yep.
Yeah, she sent it.
So the measured responses that strongly agree, uncertain, disagree, strongly disagree, and non applicable. And we would put it on a QR code so that it can be anonymous and we can roll it out.
You think, Kathleen?
No, I like it. And looking forward to bringing this to a close.
Yeah, exactly. I think like,
Sweet.
cause also, I mean,
Talking about it.
we're ending up, this is, if I'm looking at this correctly, there's like 6 questions.
Yep.
We do, even if it's not all, like even if some of the questions are worded a little bit differently, it's still like a 1 through 5 apples to apples to apples set of answers. And it's easy for someone to fill out in 30 seconds. And if we realize that, hey, we don't feel like we're getting good data on this, we want to change the questions in the future, we can change them. So I personally am super interested in getting something out and not continuing to let like the better be the enemy of the good and right now. So I guess I don't know, how do you feel about this?
Good.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, does someone want to make a motion that we accept the 6 questions, the 6 key performance indicators from Chief Moore's March 17th memo as the first, as our pilot of this project?
Survey. I move that we accept the March 17th document. Does that make sense? Or the survey?
Works for me.
Okay.
I second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? I guess gavel time over here. Awesome, cool. Thank you, Chief.
Okay.
Okay, so I wasn't here for one of the discussions about the police complaint process, so I'm a little out of the loop on this one. But I know that it was important to Gail I'm sorry, Chairperson Wolkoff, to have us kind of talk about it here. So I don't know if you guys have been more involved in the discussions about it. Fill me in, because I know that there was like a memo from the previous chief about kind of what was maybe a sort of challenging process for a citizen to make a complaint with the police department. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, perfect.
So I shared in Chairperson's Wolkoff concern about the manner in which we accept citizen complaints at the Ypsilanti Police Department. It is my experience and my focus that we make receiving complaints as seamless and possible. Our old process required individuals to come to the station, fill out an affidavit, sign it, and then we would, log it. And then, well, most often that was, unless somebody was just really, 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 aggrieved, they may not have the time to come down or, to do that. And so I felt like we should take a complaint in any format that we can get it. So we've changed the process to, we will take it over the phone. We'll take it in person. We'll take it via email, whatever's convenient, as long as the the reporting person has some articulable, data that we can be actionable about and investigate, and look
This
at.
person, this
i.e.
time, this date.
person, date, time, and we can verify those things, and then we will, we will take the complaint. In addition, we have a new system electronic system that we put in place, our Guardian tracking. And so now the complaints, when we receive them, they're put in a system electronically. It creates the tracking number, automatically in the system. And so now we're able to be much more accountable as opposed to, the paper system may sit on somebody's desk or may get lost. Now it has to be routed. It comes to me, I review it, I assign it, depending on what it is, to a supervisor. They conduct the investigation, then it comes back to me, and then we communicate, whatever findings are. The things we're looking at, of course, are misconduct. We're looking at policy violation. We're looking at policy failure. We're looking at training failure. All of the things that can contribute to the scenario. So we have to look at it, holistically, because the officer may have followed policy, may have done the right things, but it was a policy failure. In other words, our policy is flawed and we need to change it. Or they didn't receive, training in this area. And so the officer just did whatever they thought was the right thing. And so again, a failure, on the organization, something we have to change. So we took all of those things. I wanted to change it. I wanted it to be easy. I wanted it to be transparent. I wanted it to be trackable. And so that's what we sought after to do. And so now we've taken, complaints now via email, over the phone. And if it's a serious offense, then of course we coordinate with accusation, should I say. Then we coordinate with the reporting person. And of course we have them come down to the station and do, a statement and so on and so forth. And I think that is, it's a benefit, to the community. And, it allows us to take, all of the complaints.
So is there a way, like if I wanted to make a complaint,
Mhm.
don't want to come give a statement. Like I never want you to know who I am, but I have articulable, like identifying information around.
So
You guys will still look at it.
we'll still look into it.